Get everybody to WTL. Where's the line? Nebraska's first and only sports betting show. I'm your host, Andy Klassen, joined by
Jabron.
Parlay of Hound.
You got it.
And you do. You have a parlay play to close this one out.
A for sure hitter.
We're going to stay right in the NFL.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about a team that everybody wants to talk about here.
Yep.
The San Francisco 49ers catching some points, some big-time points here, and probably for good reason. This is a 3 o'clock kickoff on Fox. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers got to travel across the nation to take on the 49ers. And the Niners are catching 11.5. They're 11.5 point favorite. I'm seeing 41.5 is your total.
Yeah, Andy. If I was a Buccaneers fan, I would like to see this under 10 because I think that's where the actual line should be. So if you're getting 12 points for the Buccaneers, you might have to look at it just kind of like that.
So?
I mean, obviously, I like the 49ers to win this game, Andy.
Yeah.
And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers haven't been good over the last month, and Baker's always good for a turnover too, especially against a good defense like the 49ers. I'm just saying 12 points is a lot of points in the NFL.
It is.
And this Buccaneers team, for all its shortcomings, they're still very much in the hunt for the NFC South title at 4-5 right now, only a game behind the New Orleans Saints. Like we said, 49ers defense, one of the best in football. This could get ugly. Niners probably, all in all, are going to roll.
I think so.
Yeah.
I hate getting over 10 points in the NFL. That's kind of a shaky deal.
Yeah.
But all those measurables, and I mentioned it in the opening there, that travel, that's real.
It really is, Andy.
And this is a 3:05 kickoff.
Yep.
So it's not the noon game. It's not a night game or something wacky like that.
Kind of one of those lull games.
Yeah, it's right there in the middle.
And the 49ers have covered the spread in each of their last 14 home games against NFC opponents. So this is probably going to happen. This might get extended to 13.5 to 14 points by the time it kicks off on Sunday. Give me the Niners. Like I said in our opening thing, I do like that Christian McCaffrey rushing plus receiving yards at 104.5. I believe that's an easy wrap for McCaffrey. He's going to go wild in this one.
The over has smacked for the last 6 times these two teams have paired up. You see more of that.
I do, Andy. I really do believe that the 49ers are trying to become that team. They've had a couple bumps in the road. I believe this is a very good opponent for them to just go click on all cylinders, especially with that new defense with Chase Young and Nick Bosa both coming after this quarterback. I believe the defense might score a touchdown or two here. Give me the over in this one.
Hey, Husker, shout out. Levante Davis still getting it done at linebacker for the Tampa Bay. I saw he was one of the league leaders in tackles like he always is. But he's not going to be enough by himself.
No, he's not.
I got San Francisco win. I got San Francisco to cover. I got the total going over.
No doubt. That's what we all are.
All right, so we move on to Sunday night.
Yes, this is a very intriguing one.
This really is. We're going to be out in Denver, and the Broncos have won back-to-back games. They're the hottest team in the NFL.
They are.
All it takes is a lot of penalties and some bonehead plays by Josh Allen to just get you there, a little nudge.
Yes.
And the Broncos are 4-5 for all the jokes that we're kind of throwing on here. And the Vikings are 6-4.
Woo!
And Dobbs has been resurrected.
Good as advertised.
Yeah, I guess. Well, and he wasn't advertised at all, so he's better than nothing, and he's way better than that. This line is at a stalemate. It hasn't moved at all. It opened at 2.5, and it's staying at 2.5. Denver is your home favorite.
Yeah, you could go either way on this one, Andy, but I do believe that I like the Minnesota Vikings here, Andy. The Dobbs story is great. That's what you just said. Makes them worth a look as the underdog in this one. Yeah. With riding that wave of momentum under this, fresh leg quarterback. Like you said, Denver has kind of got lucky in a few different ways.
Did you see that game?
I did. I watched the whole thing, and I had some money on the Bills, so I was not happy with it. I just believe that they're the most balanced team here. The Vikings is what I'm saying. The Broncos also at home. It's quietly a tough place to play, but they don't get up as much as they did, in 2015 when they're rolling. I just believe Minnesota is kind of rolling high right here, and I just don't think the Denver Broncos are still good enough to score as many points as the Vikings are going to put out here. So if I'm getting points with the Minnesota Vikings, I'm going with it.
all those things do come to an end as far as kind of beating the system.
Yeah.
Is a lot of numbers and everything that's involved, and Denver's been doing that. That was about the wackiest way you could have won a game.
No doubt.
Against Buffalo, what we saw there on Monday night. And that's another thing. Short week, turnaround, and you're running into, a team that's kind of found new life here in the Vikings.
Very well-coached team, very good defense, and they're going to come after us.
Yeah,
for sure.
You're talking about the balance there. Daniel Hunter leads the league in sacks for the Vikings with 11. That's above Myles Garrett. That's above T.J. Watt. That's above Max Crosby.
Yep.
All these guys. He's got 11. He leads the league.
He does
right now for the Vikings. So I think he's going to be giving Russell Wilson fits back there big time
for sure. And if you're kind of leaning each way on this, Andy, just buy a point for the Minnesota Vikings and get it at plus 3.5 because that's a lock. Plus 3.5 is a lock for the Minnesota Vikings. If the Broncos are going to win this game, it's going to be by 3 points. I still don't believe they're going to do it. I like the Minnesota Vikings money line, but if you're scared about it, take plus 3.5.
I'm telling you what, the Vikings have covered their last 5 games.
No doubt about
it. They're 5-0 ATS the last 5, and nobody's talking about it. We're talking about it.
We're talking about it.
Where's the line?
Let's do it.
Should we talk about Monday night?
I love it. Best game of the year.
This is what the Swifties have been waiting for, right?
Yes, it has. Hometown versus boyfriend.
Boyfriend's brother. We're talking about the Kelsey Bowl 2.0. The Philadelphia Eagles are heading to Kansas City.
Yep.
And this is going to be a great one. The Eagles are 8-1. Kansas City Chiefs are 7-2. They're also your 2.5-point favorite. And, of course, everyone knows Taylor Swift is dating, the tight end
Travis
Kelce, that one guy.
That one guy
for the Chiefs.
Yep.
That totals at 45.
Yeah, Andy. The whole thing's about Travis Kelce, but Jason Kelce was just in the running for People's Magazine's sexiest man alive.
Wow.
So
they're both just smashing this pop culture thing.
Yeah, they're just killing it. Andy, being serious about it here, I think I'm going to take a stab with the Eagles here.
Really?
I just think they're just a little bit better than the Chiefs at this point.
Okay.
Obviously, you got to love the Chiefs at Arrowhead, but I just believe there's a lot of pent-up energy from the Eagles from that Super Bowl loss. I believe it's going to be kind of a knockout, drag-out here, Andy.
Right.
And I like the Eagles playmakers as of right now to beat the Chiefs.
I do like their receivers, and what isn't there to like about Jalen Hurts?
Yeah, exactly. In that tush-push, it comes within 2 yards. You know they're getting it. I just think they're the more gritty team at this point. Yeah. Obviously, Mahomes can do everything anybody can do on the planet with a football. So this is going to be one of the funnest games to watch, but I'm going to take a stab with the Eagles getting some points.
You're not out on a limb there, and you're talking about ground and pound and all those things.
Yeah.
The physicality of the Eagles. They also have the second leading receiver in the league right now.
For sure. The guy's a monster.
A.J. Brown is a monster, and he already has over 1,000 yards receiving. He only trails Tyreek Hill, a guy that we talked about a little bit a moment ago in a player parlay.
Yeah.
And I do like the balance of what the Eagles have. It's home. It's Arrowhead. This just feels like a game that the Chiefs get up for.
Yeah.
We hate how the Chiefs won't cover.
Yeah.
They'll be a ridiculous 11 and 12 point favorite week in and week out. They'll win.
They'll win by 7. Win by 8.
Yeah, win by 7, win by 8, win by 3. But they don't cover as consistently as you'd think. And that's because it's a little unfair. That line gets pumped up.
Yeah.
So much money comes in on them. I think right here at 2.5, I think they can win by a field goal or more. It just feels to me like one of those games where the Chiefs are like, hey, we need to remind everybody.
Yeah.
We need to remind everybody what's going on here in Kansas City.
No, I get where you're coming at, Andy. Just on the other side of the ball, the Eagles have scored 28 or more points in 3 straight games since their loss to the Jets. It really pissed them off. I really don't believe that the Chiefs have had that moment yet, and they kind of root for that kind of motivation, losing to the Bills, losing to the Bengals in the regular season to get on that track. So I believe this might be the game that they come out a little flat. At Kansas City, they just went 3 of 10 on third downs and only 16 first downs and 9 penalties over their win
they don't always look clean
in Germany. Yeah. So I believe that they're going to have to be a lot sharper against this top echelon of the NFL, which is the Philadelphia Eagles. So I think we're splitting on this one, but both saying this is going to be one of the best games of the year.
Yeah, we're definitely splitting, but it's going to be a lot of fun. That total's at 45, and if I was reading all that right, you're saying over.
I'm saying over.
Hey, we agree on that.
Let's go.
We agree on that.
Over.
I knew if we just kept, let's talk about this line, let's talk about that line, we would agree sooner or later.
We would get somewhere together.
All right, Mr. Parlay Pounder, you got to have a parlay play.
I do, Andy, and I'm starting out with the Las Vegas Raiders, Miami Dolphins, over 44 points. The Miami Dolphins are going to run these guys out of the building, probably put 50 points up themselves. Over 44 is a lock.
Okay.
Second one, I got Detroit Lions, -6.5 against the Chicago Bears. The Lions are rolling, are going to beat these guys by a touchdown, easy money. And then to round it out, it's a game that we just talked about. I'm buying the points for the Minnesota Vikings, +3.5. I'm putting all three of those together. $25 to win 85.
25 to win 85. Nothing too far out of line there. Run down that one more time.
I got Raiders, Dolphins over 44. Detroit Lions by 6.5 over the Bears. And then Minnesota Vikings +3.5 against the Broncos. Like we said, 25 to win 85.
Yeah, I wish I could disagree with you on the Bears, but the Lions look good.
The Lions look good.
All right, well, that'll about do it for us this week. So be sure to follow us on ESPN Tri-City Radio and their Facebook page. Look us up on Twitter at podcast_WTL, correct?
That's what it is.
Getting a lot of fun interactions there. We put out those short videos, getting a lot of views and comments. That's always fun to see.
It is.
We're also on YouTube. That channel's been growing, expanding faster. Well, maybe not faster than the universe, but right there.
Subscribe.
Somewhere there. Yeah, smash the subscribe
Please.
button. And you're handling all the TikTok duties, right?
Yep. Get on there, search for WTL. You'll find us. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, please.
For those daily picks, look no further than Jabron on the TikTok.
Yes.
For Jabron, the Parlay Pounder, I'm Andy Klassen. Thank you for listening. This has been WTL.